segment time. Dasani, Minute Maid, Powerade sponsoring this segment. We're down to the business end of the regular season with a race for playoffs heating up. On Wednesday night, the LA Clippers increased their chances of clinching a playoff berth after they got the better of the Lakers, 125-118, in the Battle of Los Angeles. Here are the highlights.
The battle for Los Angeles with playoff positioning on the line, LeBron James and the Lakers taking on Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. Eric Gordon in first quarter highlights with a dish to Kawhi, who'd finished the dunk. Then Russell Westbrook against his former franchise, pulling up and knocking down the jumper. 14 points for him and 4 assists as well. Anthony Davis later in the first with the fadeaway jumper. The Clips still leading the way at that point, 23-16. Then more from Kawhi, pulling up and draining the jumper. The Clips in transition, Terrence Mann to Norman Powell for 3. Then in transition again, Powell driving in for the layup off the glass. He had 27 points in the game. Then a Kawhi Leonard step back 3, and the Clips would lead the way at the half, 71-52. Third quarter highlights start with LeBron, the deep 3. Then inside for the reverse layup. LeBron on the drive, yet again, 33 points for him in the game, 8 rebounds and 7 assists. But 30 of those points came in the second half. AD with the fadeaway, he had 17 and 11. Then Kawhi in the fourth to Bones Highland for 3. Powell to Leonard, yet again, this time on the alley-oop slam, 25 points for Kawhi and 7 rebounds as well, as the Clips win it, 125-118.
Yeah, and speaking after the game, Clippers head coach Tyronn Lue remarked, he said, "I'm not a fan of the play-in tournament. We're still not out of the clear just yet." The Clippers and the Lakers have clinched at the minimum a play-in spot, but that will be, both of them will be hoping for more. Donald, the play-in, a lot of debate on that. Clippers coach Lue not liking it, but is it just a resistance to what you're accustomed to, or there is a genuine issue with the playing in as a new format in the NBA?
He doesn't like it because he's in 7th spot. If he was in 10th, of course you'd love it. But the point is that the top 6 obviously goes through to the playoffs. 7, 8, 9, and 10 obviously play in the play-in. And if you're in 7th spot, you basically have a couple of chances to go through to the playoffs and get that spot. So Lakers in 7th, Pelicans in 8th, Timberwolves in 9th, and the Thunder in 10th position at the moment. But they still have a chance to move up and be in the automatic playoff spots.
I was reading something today where, coming out of that Clippers-Lakers matchup last night, there was an issue of crediting the Clippers for their depth. The point was made that the Sixers have Embiid, the Bucks have Giannis, the Lakers have LeBron and Anthony Davis, and the Clippers have depth. That's what I saw. Is that a fair analysis?
I would say that, but I think, especially last night, it was exaggerated what Russell Westbrook did. Yes, he started strong, but I think he just played 4 minutes in the second half. Ty Lue took him off after he shot an air ball in the second quarter, I believe it was. But you're right, I think they do have depth, but the Lakers also have depth as well. What they did in the transfer period to bring in quite a few of the guys to help LeBron and AD, I think that the Lakers actually look better in the aftermath of those trades. So I actually believe that the Lakers have some depth to them.
When we spoke to Alistair, who is our main NBA analyst, he is quite enthused about the Lakers and their immediate future after being very dodgy for most of the season. But following the the transfers that we saw recently, he feels that they can turn their season around significantly enough to go a lot deeper in the championship than many had expected. He stopped short of saying that they are title contenders, but he did suggest, Alistair did, that the Lakers may have some surprises for us all.
I think the Lakers are dangerous, or will be dangerous, if they are contesting a 7-game series. They don't have to worry about back-to-backs. I can't really see this team losing 4 in 7 matches. Of course, anything is possible, but I think they are in a better light once you consider that fact, that they are going to be contesting 7 games and you need to beat LeBron and company 4 times out of the 7. So I agree with what Alistair said in terms of the chances that they have once they get into the playoffs, better than most teams. And it's not the typical Western Conference. Warriors aren't at the top. I think they're
improving, though.
They are improving. Yeah. They're in 6th spot at the moment. But you take a look at possibly facing up with the Grizzlies in the playoffs. Lakers can get the better of the Grizzlies in a 7-match series. Yeah. So it's lined up like that. And once you get past that first round, anything can play. So Lakers fans should be encouraged.
Yeah, and I think to the Lakers' credit, or their aspirations, the fact that they have so many new pieces to their system and new tools in their armory does suggest that the more time they get together, the better they will become. Because, you know, the coach would want time to get some synergy there with his new players. And maybe all of it has happened at the right time. And by the time they complete this phase of the regular season and then into the play-ins or playoffs, the Lakers may be better than all of the previous months that we've seen them.
It plays into their hands perfectly, actually, feel. The timing of the trades, the amount of time that they played, LeBron getting a break and coming back.
Yes, yeah.
It seems as if it is the perfect storm for them to make a run. Last night, I believe, was just an anomaly. I don't think we should read nothing into that, really. It will be the final time, I think, that the Lakers will be involved in a back-to-back situation. So LeBron looking a little bit lethargic in the first half last night. Again, we shouldn't read much into that. But yeah, it is going to be really interesting for the Lakers from here on out. They'd probably want to make it safe to secure that 6th spot.
Yes.
But if they go into the play-in, no harm done. Just an additional game if they lose an additional 2 games for them to get into the top 8.
Okay, well, let's move on. Still with Wednesday night action from the NBA. Despite missing their star man Giannis Antetokounmpo due to injury, the Milwaukee Bucks comfortably clinched the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference after getting the better of the Chicago Bulls by 13 at the Fiserv Forum. Let's have those highlights now.
Zach LaVine and the Bulls in Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. No Giannis Antetokounmpo in this one, out with right knee soreness, but a Bucks win would clinch home court with the postseason just about a week away. Chris Middleton would unfortunately miss the jumper here, then come up limping. He'd stay in the game for a while, but leave late in the first quarter and not return with knee soreness as well. Later in the first, that's Brook Lopez with the floater, then Holiday with the steal, giving it up to Joe Ingles for 3. Then Bobby Portis in the post would get the jump hook to go here. These two would put the Bucks up 25-16. Into second quarter highlights, DeMar DeRozan to Patrick Williams for the corner 3 on the other end. Then Vooch driving and throwing down the lefty dock. That would cut their deficit to just 1. The Bucks moving the ball around. Holiday would drill the 3 and give them the 44-42 lead. More from Nikola on the other end, spinning, getting up the shot plus the foul, and Vooch would make that free throw. The Bulls would lead the way by 2 at the half, 51-49. Wesley Matthews in the third to Lopez inside for the layup. Then more from Holiday to Portis for yet another 3. These 3 would put the Bucks up 66-61. Kobe White later in the third with the step-back jumper on the other end to cut their deficit back to 2. Then more from the Bucks. Matthews pump faking would give it up, get it back, and get the reverse to go. Holiday to Portis yet again for another corner three. Then Holiday with a step-back jumper of his own. More from Drew posting up and getting another step-back jumper to fall. This would give the Bucks the 100-87 lead, and they'd win it 105-92.
So this is the second time in 3 years, 3 seasons, that the Bucks are clinching the East. The last time they clinched the Eastern Conference, they went on, of course, to lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Speaking after their 13-point win over the Bulls, Bucks center Brook Lopez praised the team's camaraderie for clinching the East. It's definitely a great achievement. It's cool because we've had a lot of different lineups throughout the year, and regardless of who we have put out on the floor, our guys have come out with the right mindset and have been going out there to succeed. Okay, so Giannis not there for the Bucks, but
yeah, I think he had a slight knee injury,
Yeah.
So he's not going to be out for too long. Still made it look pretty easy though. Bucks being the number 1 seed, I expect them to come out of the East. Even though the other team in the East, the team with the a very good chance, the only other team with a very good chance would be the 76ers in my book. They are presently in 3rd spot at the moment. Boston is in 2nd, but I don't really fancy them. I'm looking at 1 and 3 here. But let's see. I liked how the Cavs looked this season, and well, God bless the New York Knicks, right? The altitude must be killing them, but in the final playoff spot at the moment. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Bucks. They have been outstanding in the East.
Yeah, I'm keen to get your opinion, Donald, on the form of the regular season champions or the number 1 seeded team going into the playoffs, carrying that through to the championship. The last time the number 1 seeds going into the playoffs, one would have been 2017 with the Golden State Warriors. So recent history doesn't favor the team who has been the best team all season, regular season. The
playoffs, different animal. The example that I gave in terms of the Lakers and how they would look in a 7-game series, it's really a persona that you have to put on once the regular season is done. I tell you, it's really difficult to put it all together for 4 games in a 7-match series. And that's the difference here. I mean, Golden State Warriors, once in a dynasty. We're not going to see anything like them. So for them to have been able to put it together as they did, in fact, one could argue that the best season that they had, they actually lost in the NBA Finals to LeBron and Cleveland. But the point is that it's something different when you enter the playoffs and you have to come with your A game. So no, you can be consistent throughout the regular season, but once the playoffs kick in, different.
Yeah, I say that too because I note that while I recognize the drought of regular season champions going on to win the whole thing since 2017. In the 5 years before that, 4 regular season champions became the NBA champions as well. That list included the Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, and I think Golden State twice. So 4 of the 5 years before the 2017, when things went haywire for the regular season champions, there was some consistency, and the teams that had been the best teams all season ended up being the champion team.
But they were the clear favorites in their series as well. They were the clear favorites in the playoffs. You're talking about Miami Heat.
Yes.
You're talking about the Golden State Warriors, which was the example I used before.
And San Antonio in 2014.
Of course, San Antonio Spurs. So, you know, I wasn't surprised by that.
Yeah, okay, I get you. Point made. Before we go, let's have a look at the results overall from Wednesday night. The Nets and the Knicks winning over the Pistons and the Pacers. The Hawks over the Wizards. The Raptors beaten by the Celtics. The Bucks and the Pelicans winning over the Bulls and the Grizzlies. The Pelicans-Grizzlies game going to overtime. The Kings beaten by the Mavs. And we saw that Lakers win by 7. Well, Clippers win by 7 over the Lakers. NBA action will continue on the home of champions tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers against the Magic. That's on Sportsmax 2 at 7 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, 6 o'clock in Jamaica, and on Sportsmax a double. The Heat against the 76ers, 7:30 Eastern Caribbean time, 6:30 in Jamaica. And the Suns, they'll be up against the Nuggets at 10 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, 9 in Jamaica.